1, 2, 3.
No one.
There we go.
And no one knows our relationship like we do.
My name is Shelly Bogard. I am 18. I was actually born in California. I moved to Southern Illinois when I was 2 and have been here ever since. I've actually lived on the same block ever since. Some hobbies of mine, anything to do with music. I'm not good at singing, but I like it. I'm not good at dancing, but I like it. And I am not good at playing instruments, but I like it. One thing I do like and am good at least I think so, is videos, all the way from short little films, I guess you could say, to music videos. Those are my favorite. I've also been doing color guard since my freshman year. There's not much more to say than that. I just love color guard. I have 2 siblings. I have a younger brother and an older sister. My sister is 4 years older than me. My brother is 19 months younger than me. So you can imagine my life there. Middle child and everything that goes along with that. I am a Christian. I go to a Baptist church, but I don't necessarily say I'm Baptist just because, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know all the differences between the different denominations. I just know what I believe. I know I'm a Christian, whatever those little things are that separate them. I don't really like to say I'm Baptist, even though I have gone to a Baptist church basically since I was born. The foundation of my belief is that, first of all, God made everything, including us, and we sin, and he can't be around sin. So Jesus came to earth fully human and fully God, lived a absolutely perfect life, and then died on the cross for us, for our sins, so that way we could have a relationship with him and eventually go to heaven after we die. Christianity, I think, affects me in my day-to-day life. I mean, for example, when I see people, I have a different mind or view, especially just getting out of high school. There's a lot of that type of stuff in high school, especially when it comes to popularity and stuff like that. I don't see stuff, I guess, the same way as other people do. Same thing with what I do for fun, I guess. For example, I don't go out partying and getting drunk or whatever. I don't go make fun of people or something like that, on the internet, and different things that people do for fun. I don't really see it as fun, or I don't even do it at all, I don't need to have a beer in my hand or whatever to hang out with friends, We can just be in a room and talking for hours, and it's just fun. We make up our own jokes and stuff like that. They don't have to be perverted, they are just about cows, so nothing perverted about cows.
My name is Emma Armstrong. I am 18 years old, and I was born in Carterville, Illinois. Shortly thereafter, I moved to Carterville, Illinois, so you guessed it, I've been living in Southern Illinois my entire life. The things I like to do the most are things that require me using my imagination. So I like to make music, I like to make films, obviously, take pictures, do makeup, play around with people's hair and hair color. I like making jewelry, I love Pathfinder. Really, all of it is a hobby that I can insert my own personality into. For nearly 7 years now, I've had a radio show. It's called Style City, and I do it every Sunday from 4 to 6. Primarily, I spend my time doing musical things and filming. You could say I'm a girly girl, but honestly, I just find that makeup and hair and nails and clothing is just a really easy way of self-expression. I really like bright things and, dyeing my hair crazy colors and doing really tacky makeup is fun for me. I've dyed my hair every color of the rainbow at least twice. I've never been a huge reader type, but recently I have been reading a lot more. I like reading National Geographic, Stephen King, comics like Snot Girl. I love to draw, but I'm pretty terrible at it. Usually my drawings are just really crazy looking patterns. I have one younger brother, his name is Ire, and although we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, I do love him to death. I am non-religious, so I do not believe in God, go to church, or practice any sort of religion. I have had plenty of time to think about it on my own, and I've just never found any sort of evidence that there was a God, therefore I will not believe in one. It's really just as simple as that. My parents don't determine what I believe in, my friends don't determine what I believe in. Usually people think that non-believers don't have the same morals as Christians or as religious people in general, but that's definitely not true. I always try to be kind to people and stand up for others, and really just overall I try to be a good person, a smart person. I find that being non-religious isolates me in a lot of ways, but I have grown into it and it doesn't bug me as much anymore. Pickles! It is a little bit harder being part of the Carterville community. I do not attend church, so automatically I'm kind of left out on certain parts of people's lives. Being non-religious forces me to work harder in a way. I go out of my way to be a good person because I don't have the label that infers that I am one. Since I don't have the title of being a Christian or being religious or being saved, I have to kind of earn my reputation with people. Being non-religious can be really hard sometimes because you feel a lot of fear and sadness for the people around you who are religious.
To be completely honest, I have cried over Emma many, many times.
When it's on my mind, I just burst out into tears.
I was sad, I guess, that she doesn't get it. Because for me, I get it, and I want that switch to click.
And it's not just you. I mean, there are whole churches of people that believe in this.
In my belief that she doesn't believe this is she's gonna go to hell. And I was like, I don't want that. I love her. She's a great person, and it just got really kind of emotional. I mean, obviously.
I get scared sometimes that because you believe in God, that maybe you are living a false life. God,
please get this message across to her.
I guess the thought of so many people believing in something that may or may not be there scares me because I want everyone to live for themselves, not for someone else.
I want to hang out in heaven with her for eternity. We can rock out music or whatever we do in heaven. It's going to be awesome. And I wanted that.
I don't really know how I cope with it either. That is probably the hardest part.
Hopefully one day we'll spend eternity in heaven together, and it'd be amazing.
The majority of people I know attend church on Wednesdays, Sundays, every event, every holiday, and I'm definitely not among the majority. I am non-religious and I do not attend church. In fact, on Sunday, I do my radio show.
Emma's been doing her show, Style City, for quite a while now. I think since she was 11, and she's actually kind of grown up at WDBX.
I can honestly say that Sunday is probably my favorite day and most stressful day. Shelly probably feels the same way about church because, although it's a day you get to spend with your church family and get to open up and relax, it's also the day where you have to be the most prepared. And I feel very similar about my radio show because although I do have fun hosting it and I love sharing music with people, it is very stressful because you want to do it in the exact right way. And I always try to be in a good mood on that day so that I can do the best show.
I think now, of course, being in media and whatnot, it's given her a different relationship to media itself and how it's created and how people pay attention to it. She's a little bit behind the scenes on that. Moving into film and things seems a little bit natural, that it's just another way of kind of reaching people, through this technology and whatnot, and, telling a story and sharing something that matters. And I think, over time, that's part of what Style City's grown into is sharing those things that matter to her.
Since a lot of people I know are at church or getting ready for church during my showtime, not a lot of my friends listen. They're just too busy, and that sucks.
My Sunday is busy. 9 a.m. is Sunday school. Obviously, I have to get up before then. I have Sunday school, then I have the main service or children's church or nursery, depending on the week. And then we go out to lunch at Bogard Burger with the whole family. And then after that, I have a little bit of time at home, which is usually last minute homework because, who does it on Friday or Saturday? And then I go back around 4:30 for band practice. And then at 5:30, there's this thing called Awanas, which is like the kids' Sunday night program. And I do that till 7:30. And then after 7:30, we have a youth game night. So I sometimes go to that too. And when there is not Awanas, then band practice is at 5:30. And at 6:30 to 7:30 is church, and again, game night. So it all depends on the week.
Shelly is a fantastic student that I've had the opportunity to work with, and she has just been a blessing to our group. When I first met Shelly early on, I thought she was like this shy, kind of keep to herself, like didn't really want to interact with people. But after knowing her for like 1 hour, I found out that was totally not who Shelly is, that she is full of excitement, full of life, full of big ideas, and it has been awesome to kind of watch her just kind of explode in leadership here at church, leadership places at school, getting to see her interact with her friends here and her friends outside of the church context. It's just been awesome to see, and I can tell she is going to go crazy places in this world. And I know she's going to study media and videography and stuff like that, and I think she's going to be making blockbusters in a couple years here, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
All right, so whenever you're ready.
Hi, it's Sunday, and we're at Backyard Burger. That shouldn't surprise you if you know our family. We come to Backyard Burger every Sunday, unless we're not in town, basically. So, there's a long story behind that. We moved to Carterville in 2001 from California. And that's how long we've been coming to Backyard Burger. But my aunt and my mother have been coming here longer than that. And my father, he's passed. They used to always go to Arby's after church, but the manager of Arby's opened this place, Backyard Burger, and they started coming here instead. Richard, he's been coming to Backyard Burger for lunch all his life. We moved back to town when he was 9 months old, and we would set his car seat with his little carrier in a seat, and he'd fall asleep before we were done eating. But he's bigger now, and he can eat lunch and stay awake through the whole thing. So basically, we come here because it's good food. If you ever made backyard burgers, burgers on your own grill in your backyard, that's what they taste like. Good, thick stuff, not the little thin wafers of burgers, and delicious fries. Now, some people will say that the seasoned fries are best, but me, I think the waffle fries are best. And when the kids were little, they would always get a little cup of ice cream. My mom and my dad and aunt really love the cobbler. And the sodas are not watered down like so many other restaurants. They actually taste like they're supposed to taste. So if you really want a good burger at a good place to eat at a decent price without paying a fortune, this is where to come. And if you want to see us between 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock on a Sunday, feel free to stop by the house and rob the place because we'll be here.
Hello?
Oh my god, I got it to work.
It's working! I'm so happy. How are you?
Good.
I'm glad to hear it. I know people have told me so many different things about college, but, no one, I feel like none of them were accurate at all. I don't know how that's possible, but
It's so weird. It's so weird that you say that because I was literally thinking the same thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go.
I feel like my experience is so much different than, I don't know, the average college student or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if the feeling that you're not average is average, therefore making us average.
Right. And see, I've thought about that too. And the thing is, if that were the case, you would think that that would be the thing that they say. You know?
Right.
But it's not.
Yeah. You're right. And I don't even know if I would rather have a normal one or not. I don't really know what to think. In some ways I wish I was. In others, I'm glad it's not.
Yeah. I just have a lot of trouble, doing work on videos with how much pain I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, every time I sit down to do an assignment for class, I am putting myself in so much physical pain that I can barely focus, and it makes me want to do nothing but just sleep.
Yeah.
And
Because you're like looking down at the screen?
No,
or paper or whatever?
No, I have everything set up the way my physical therapists have told me to do it. Yeah. I don't know.
Hmm. Well, feels like it's just taking over everything in a way. So weird. Like, no matter how much we try to plan our lives, it doesn't really do much because it has its own plan. All right. Well, I love you, girl. I'll talk to you sometime later for sure.
All right. Love you too, babe.
All right. Bye.
You're too dope to cope. Bye, girl.
Okay, if you say so. All right. Bye.
Bye. Over the years, I've seen plenty of people use their religion poorly. On Wednesday and Sunday, they might be this good little Christian boy or girl, but then at school or with friends, they act an entirely different way. Some definitely use religion as a platform to put other people down. They'll justify their thoughts and their feelings, but they'll attack anyone different than them. Thankfully, I've never seen Shelly act that way. If anything, I think Shelly is only trying to spread her belief because she wants people to have a relationship with God. She wants them to feel as happy and as, cared for as she does.
Our topic, well, I mean, it sounds like a documentary about some Navy ship or something, maybe that'd be different, but I feel like our theme is more like the point of it or the substance of the documentary, of the whole thing, really, is what we say and what our words mean. Not necessarily we're going to make this look pretty and have a whole bunch of cuts and stuff.
Okay. Alright. To be honest, I wish you'd convert every single minute, every single day of my life. Because I don't mean it as in you're wrong, you're pathetic, like come on, over to my side, come to the dark side, except it'd be light side. But anyway, but it just because I do believe with all my heart. So like, we are not promised any minute, we aren't promised any day, we aren't promised any hour, we are not promised any time whatsoever. So the fact or the thought that you might leave any single minute, every single day, any time really, scares the jeebers out of me. I do actually think about death all the time, and I know that might be a little hard to believe. But I think every non-believer, to an extent, thinks about death more. It's more on their mind than it would be for someone who is religious. And it's even in a different way, I guess. Because I know you guys do think about death. I know you're not just like, hey, yeah, okay, I can die whenever. I know it's not like that. But it's also not in the same way at all. You're having to just accept that that's the way of life. It's hard. Just the fact that anything could happen, and then in my belief that you would spend eternity, which my mind cannot even wrap around, but the idea of eternity in this burning lake, of hell, like a real place, that, and me, like being completely apart for eternity. I can't even be apart from you for like a couple weeks. Okay? How am I supposed to be apart from you in eternity? And just a thought about that torture that you go through, that scares me. As a Christian, though, that like scaredness also kind of transfers to like energy, I guess you could say, because that idea, okay, let's say you know, that idea is then you can go any second, any minute, I could go any second, any minute, you know, type of thing, like, girl, this is what I believe and this is why I believe it, like,
Yeah.
kind of thing, like, where life is too short, like, that is our mission, you know, as Christians, and that's why it is because you don't know, you know, you could be the only Christian, the only godly person, the only Jesus, you know, that they see, you know,
Right.
and you want to tell them that, you know, so it does have that comfort, it's scary, it does have happiness to it, it does have urgency, it has energy, there's
Urgency.
a lot.
Yeah. No, that yeah. Urgency is probably the best word you could have used.
Mm-hmm.
On both ends, for sure.
Yep, I agree. My first thought, I'd love to say I'm not scared of death because there's no reason to be, you know, for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm human. You know what I mean? Like, I do believe I'm going to go to heaven, but it's just kind of scary at the same time because, like, I mean, okay, this is a really bad analogy, but, like, college, okay? I'm excited for college. I'm ready for college, but a whole bunch of me is scared because, I mean, I've never done college, you know? It's completely new, you know, the idea of something I can't even imagine because I have no idea, you know? Same thing about death, you know? I do believe I'm going to be in heaven, and sure, the Bible talks about heaven and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like I have no idea, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, there's part of me that I do question parts of my faith. Like, I'm like, but how do I know 100% that either I'm actually saved or that there's actually heaven and it's actually gonna work out that way, you know? And I think that's the human part of me, you know, type of thing.
Definitely.
That part of me, you know?
I think one of the most important things that you can do when someone dies is to celebrate them. Whether you believe in God or not, you know, it doesn't really matter what you believe in. When that person dies, it's natural to be sad or to be angry, you know, and to just feel hopeless and whatever, to be let down and depressed. But I think something that is even more important than mourning them is to not let them be forgotten, to share stories of their life with other people, to, you know, really appreciate all the advice or all the memories you have with them. Just, you know, once they're gone, they can't do that, you know, and if you care for them, if you really truly care for them, I think you should. I think you should carry that on for them because I'm sure they didn't want their death, you know. And let's just say they did. Let's say they committed suicide. Well, you know, it doesn't matter. It's wrong to just push that down, to just act like it never happened, or, you know, that it can only be a sad thing. You know, I think that everyone deserves to have a little piece of them on Earth, you know, and that's not really realistic because there are tons of people who I'm sure have been forgotten, but I don't want to be one of them, and I don't want anyone I love to be one of them either. I wish I could just give Shelly something that would make her happy as believing, and I wish I could comfort you. I wish that you didn't have to go through the thought of what's going to happen to Emma if she doesn't, you know, if she doesn't get saved.
I can't imagine someone going through something, you know, when they don't believe. My first thought is, you know, like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, how can I help you? But then when I think about it more, I'm like, if I was in their position, I wouldn't survive it. That takes a lot of strength without, you know, a belief or a higher power, God type of thing, because it's all you.
I am really bothered when Christians or people who are religious give credit to God over themselves. There are so many talented people and so many smart people who give their credit to God, and I think it's fine to say that God helped you, but when you are literally giving every ounce of, success you've ever had on earth to God, I don't feel like you're appreciating yourself enough, because you really did work hard for that. And it scares me sometimes when I hear Shelly talk, because she will talk about God like that God got her through something, and I just want to shake her sometimes and be like, no, Shelly, you did that. I usually don't overreact or react really at all, but in my head, that's something that bothers me. I guess overall, I'm scared that Shelly will work her ass off her entire life and then not get a reward. I think that everyone should get what they deserve.
I do not feel pity necessarily for unbelievers. I feel sadness sometimes, sometimes confusion, just depending and stuff like that, but I don't think I would use the word pity for how I feel towards or whatever unbelievers. Again, probably because I was there. Like, there's literally no difference between me and you and any other unbeliever, other than I have a relationship with God, which is a big deal. But, like the same idea as in, some Christians might say, yeah, I feel pity for them because they're going through life without purpose or whatever, or they think they have no hope, etc., etc. But I don't think that's necessarily true. You just find it in different ways.
Yeah, I don't feel pity towards religious people either. It's exactly what you said. I feel sadness, but that's something that just fluctuates, the levels of sadness, the levels of anger, the levels of confusion, it all just fluctuates depending on what is going on around me and how it's affecting the people that I know, how it's affecting me. But, I never feel bad for them. Like, I don't look down upon anyone that's religious. Really, I don't. Other than people who abuse it in bad ways, there are definitely people who do that. People who use it to justify things that they personally think are wrong when they really just, want something to back them up. I don't appreciate those people at all. I can say that without a doubt. But, anyone who's just religious to be religious and have a relationship with God and better themselves and better other people and help, I have no problem with that. I don't pity them. In fact, I encourage it. I love that. If that's going to be the thing that inspires you, moves you forward, makes you caring, then do it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You can find all of that when you're non-religious as well. I don't think it's really harder or easier. It's just different.
I feel like I could almost say that I feel more pity towards those on either side pitying the other person. Does that make sense? So
definitely.
Because I pity those that do pity, because I'm just like,
really?
Yeah. So I don't necessarily pity them, maybe, unless they're pitying the others,
right.
Basically.
Yeah. You pity the people who are closed-minded enough to pity.
Exactly. That makes you pity, so you pity,
God.
yourself. No. But, yeah.
If you are different in a town or in a place or, in a club or at school or whatever, if you're different, period, it is your job to not be hurt by that. It is your job to be strong as whoever you are. It's your job to be that strong, non-religious person, or your job to be the only vegetarian at your school. Those are the two examples that come to my mind because those are the two that I've dealt with a lot. But it applies to really every sort of characteristic, you know. If you're different in any way, it is your job to be strong, to stand up for yourself, and to stand out and make your mark, to tell people what it's like to be you, because otherwise people won't know, and they will live in the dark to whatever it is that makes you different. And, you know, they can't make friends with you if you are not confident enough to say, yeah, I'm different, and I still want the same things that you do.
This pains me to say, but if you were a Christian, I would say our relationship would be stronger. I don't know how much stronger, but the idea of we would have even one more thing in common and something so substantial in common, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, just praying together and talking about this stuff with some of my Christian friends, we do grow stronger because of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if you were a Christian, yeah. But then again, that's hard to imagine because our relationship is so strong as is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But my first thought is, yeah, I think we would have a stronger, maybe even closer, if that's even possible, relationship. But again, it would be a different relationship. You know, It would be so different.
Yeah. You know, I really respect your honesty right now because, I mean, it can be really anything, you know, that you agree on. Like, when you meet someone who has the same music taste as you, you're kind of, like, attracted to them. You want to be friends with them because they're, like, reaffirming a belief you already have. Mm-hmm. So it kind of makes you feel like, oh, I must be right if they like it. So then you kind of flock to them and you become friends with them. And I don't know, that's how I kind of imagine it in my head. I don't go out of my way to do it like that, but it's kind of how it is when you get right down to it. And, you know, I feel like if you were an atheist or if you were non-religious or whatever you want to call it, that I would feel more comfortable because now see, that goes against what I said earlier about, you know, me being scared about how you were feeling.
Yeah, but you're saying if from the very start.
Yeah.
As non-religious versus
because,
Christian.
like, I would be like, oh, okay, so I'm not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I kind of say in my head, like, oh, I'm not the only one who likes blah, 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 you know? And so, obviously, I'm not the only person who's non-religious, but, you know, if I met you and you had so many things in common with me, like you do now,
mm-hmm.
and that, I would be like, oh, wow, so we're the same person, that's crazy, like, we gotta be friends, like, you know, we're probably gonna have the best of times together. But at the same time, you know, it doesn't really matter. Not to me. I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much because, like you said, I don't know how much stronger it could get. Mm-hmm. Because I think something that makes us strong, that kind of makes up for the fact that we're not the same exact person, is the fact that we're able to question each other. We're able to have talks
Definitely.
that are so deep because of the fact that we're constantly thinking about completely different things. You know, We're coming at it from totally different angles.
And that's what would make our relationship so much different. Because if we were in the same point, we wouldn't have the differing stuff going on there. I mean,
we'd probably have a lot more same moments.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, same. But
it's like, yeah, whatever.
But
like,
probably not a lot of,
yeah,
like we usually do.
We would be up here on the surface, be like, yeah, okay, conversation over, versus, well, and going deeper, you know?
Yeah.
Type of thing,
yeah,
you know?
Right.
And it would just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It has been a year since I started filming. This is the summer of 2018. We started the summer of 2017 after we graduated. Believe it or not, I still have blue and she still has pink in her hair.
And a bunch of other colors, you know, casual.
Yep, can't just pick one color.
Mm-mm.
So we decided to film, because we haven't premiered it yet, kind of what we think now that it's a year later.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All I can say, like, above anything, is that I'm so proud. I'm so proud of us. I think we made something really beautiful. And, you know, even though it's tied to a certain time in our life and we may not think the same things now, or we may not speak the same way, or share as much or enough even, I think that we definitely did our best at the time, and both of us are such busy people that it is a miracle that we even made it at all. So I don't know. I'm just proud.
I'm in like disbelief still. You know, like we did this. It's something we did. You know, we can say, yeah, we made like a short movie about, well, us. you know, and I think it's crazy. I think it is amazing that we made something that we can even look back on and it'll always be there. I think it's amazing, and that we got to share together something that we both love to do. You know, making films. Yeah, we're amazing. Well, we are signing off. I hope you enjoy.
Forever.
Dun dun dun. No, we're signing off. I hope you enjoyed the film. This is Hot Straw.
This is Cute Raz.
And we'll see you maybe next time.